Now, you take my wife. Please, you all know that chick. I'll never forget our wedding night. God knows I've tried, but... There she was in one corner of the room with the lingerie. I was in the other corner with a chair and a whip. She ran after the garbage man. Am I too late for the garbage? He says, no, jump in. Man, do you know what it means to come home at night to a woman who'll give you a little love, a little affection, a little tenderness? It means you're in the wrong house, that's what it means.
Say, please, here, do me a favor. Don't talk to me. I don't want you to talk to me.
I wouldn't talk to you if I was in solitary confinement and you was a mouse. The next time you hang up at me, I'll smash you.
Me? You'll smash you, coward, you.
I'm a coward.
Yeah?
I'll show you the wound I got in the war.
Go ahead, show me the wound. Well, where's the wound? Show me, go ahead.
What's the difference? It's on my brother's leg.
Yeah.
Born in the wilds of the Lenzi Street, home of gefilte fish and kosher meat. Handy mit a knife for here's your tea. He flicked him a chicken when he was only 3. Davy Crockett. He sat in the sun und geracket and gebacket.
Davy Crockett, king of the Lenzi Street.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Chickalini, give me a number from 1 to 10.
11.
Right. Now I ask you one. What is it has a trunk but no key, weighs 2,000 pounds and lives in a circus?
That's irrelevant.
Irrelevant? Hey, that's the answer. There's a whole lot of relevance in a circus.
That sort of testimony we can eliminate.
That's fine. I'll take some.
You'll take what?
Eliminate. A nice cold glass of lemonade. Hey, boss, I'm going to good. Yeah.
Gentlemen, Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot. I implore you, send him back to his father and brothers, who are waiting for him with open arms in the penitentiary. I suggest that we give him 10 years in Leavenworth or 11 years in Twelveworth.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take 5 and 10 in Woolworth.
I wanted to get rid of habeas corpus, but I should have gotten rid of you instead.
I object.
Even I object.
Then I object too.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have no midsize available at the moment.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservations.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. See, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Oh, pardon me, mister, but did my man come over and put some of my clothes in your luggage?
See?
Are you going to New York?
See?
Are you taking flight 18?
See?
What's your name?
Sorry.
Si?
Where else but on the Ed Sullivan Show can 44 Catholic nuns be followed by one lonely Jew? Last Sunday, my mother and father celebrated their 49th wedding anniversary. She had the house decorated with old pictures of the family, because nobody recognized anybody else because it was before the nose jobs.
Harvey and Sheila Harvey and Sheila Harvey and Sheila, oh, the day they met. Harvey and Sheila Harvey and Sheila Harvey and Sheila, no one will forget. Harvey's a CPA, he works for IBM. He went to MIT and got his PhD.
Yeah. And Jewish people, can we talk? Sure. What do Jews know about country western?
Don't know.
You know, we don't ride horses, we study the equipment. What are we doing walking around? If a Jew's gonna write a country western song, it would be I Stand By My Accountant. I mean, it is...
I should be there?
Yeah, it's a great thing, but you gotta get your ticket, like, 6 months in advance. That's a tough ticket to go to the holiday.
Why do you need a ticket to go to Temple? It's crazy.
You know what? I'll make some calls. Made some calls, but no go on the tickets.
Oh.
But you know what? You can always try for a scalper.
Tickets? Yeah. Tickets? What? Any tickets? You got something? I got... Yeah. What do I have? I have the best seats. Yeah? I have fabulous 2 seats right down front. The cant will be practically spitting all over you.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
Give me 600 for the 2.
I'll give you 300 for the
I'll take the 3.
But you might be interested in how I became offensive. Like, started in school with drinking, and I was like a real depressed kid. And, you know, 7 or 8 years old, and I really get juiced and get out of my head. And so the teacher would really get bugged, you know, with me singing and carrying on and calling Columbus a fink and boosting Aaron Burr and all that. There are words that offend me. Let's see, Governor Farbus, segregation offend me. Nighttime television offends me. Some nighttime television. The shows that exploit homosexuality, narcotics, and prostitution under the guise of helping the societal problem.
But I was much heavier. I was fat, you kidding. I was so fat when I got my shoes shone, I had to take the guy's word for it. I mean, I was fat, I'll tell you that. Fat, I mean, I was some fat girls, too, I'll tell you that. Who? Now, one girl, she was so fat, she got in the scale, a card came out, said 1 at a time, you know? She was fat.
That's a big girl.
Ooh, remember how we met? I hit her with my car. She said me once go around me. I told her I didn't think I had enough gas. She was a wild girl, I'll tell you. Ooh, very wild girl. Ooh, she was. You kidding? Well, she made me French toast. Her tongue got caught in the toaster.
You know, I went to a small school, a very obscure school called Alfred, and good for 7 claps at the Saturday Night Live show. Good for about 9 claps at Alfred University. But I had to learn and grow. A little thing I encountered there that I really hadn't encountered before, anti-Semitism. Well, nothing, it was subtle. Nothing you could put your finger on. Subtle, to be sure. Hey, Jew boy! Where are you going, Jew boy? High holy name! You know.
I'm telling you, this is destroying our civilization.
All right, move it inside.
Move what?
Just get in there. And this is Ronald Hannon. Disorderly conduct and destruction of private property. He was riding on a bus and ripped down that ad.
Aunt Sally's kosher-style pickles.
2 years I've been staring at that travesty of the English language. Read it.
Aunt Sally says my pickles are the tongue-teasingest, the lip-smackingest, and the crunchiest.
I want her arrested.
Mr. Hanna's a professor of linguistics and English at NYU.
The English language is one of the most beautiful and expressive of all tongues, but it's being corrupted and debased by its chronic misuse. Manufactured lingo like that. Dull-witted cliches, redundancies, mindless phraseology. Save up to 50% and more. What does that mean?
I really don't know, Mr. Hanna, but...
Captain, it's not just a matter of a stupid pickle slogan. The manipulation of language is one of the primary methods used by those in power to confuse and divert the public.
Well, you got some valid points there, Professor, but I'm afraid we're going to have to book you anyway.
Well, I have a seminar at 3 o'clock.
Hopefully you'll be out of here by then.
Hopefully?
I can't guarantee
Hopefully means with hope, Captain, not I hope. Did you mean that I will be out of here with hope? No, you meant that you hope that I will be out of here.
Right, I hope so.
I'm sorry if I was a bit sharp, but a tiny mistake like that, well, it makes me a little crazy.
Irregardless. Want to have a seat over there?
Captain, should I put a warrant out for Aunt Sally?
Huh?
Did you ever taste her pickles?
Oh, the Protestants hate the Catholics, and the Catholics hate the Protestants, and the Hindus hate the Muslims, and everybody hates the Jews. But during National Brotherhood Week, National Brotherhood Week, it's National Everyone Smile at One Another Hood Week.
If Chris was going to stand a chance with Allison, he needed a crash course in the way of the Jew. Now, I'm your date, and I need you to give me 7 Yiddish words that you will casually slip into the conversation. Go.
Goyim.
The second the waiter approaches, what do you do?
Oh, I'm feeling a bit of a draft. Would it be all right if we move to another table? Schwitz.
Good. Now, you've been relocated to the new table, and what do you do?
Oh, could you please turn down that loud music? Kvetch.
All right, now we're on to the ordering process. Now, you have to remember that as a Jew, you have to take something on the menu and alter it beyond all recognition. All right?
Okay.
Practice.
Would it be too much trouble to change that side salad to an entree? And would you mind throwing a little salmon in there? Nosh. Can I have that on the side? Popik.
Dinner comes.
Oh,
the salad
okay.
is exactly how you ordered it, right?
Right.
Take one bite, and you...
Send it back.
Yes, you send that shit back. We never eat what we order, ever, ever, ever. You ready?
I think
You remember everything?
I don't know.
Let's take a walk with it then.
Before this night is over, one of you shall betray me 3 times.
No. Master, how can you feel that anyone here would betray you? You who we would follow even unto our death.
Yes. Does everybody want soup?
Please, we must talk. This may be our last supper.
Hey, it's my first order. Oh, look, one little question, I'll let you all go. Are you all together, or is it separate checks?
Please, go away.
Go away. All right, okay.
Yea, so you say. But one who sits amongst us has already betrayed me this night.
Who?
Who can it be?
Judas! Do you want a beverage? Try the mulled wine. It's terrific.
No! Leave us alone!
Go.
All right. Jesus.
Yes.
What?
What? What? Yes.
Jesus.
What?
Yes.
What?
You said what?
What?
Nothing.
Dear God, did you have to send me news like that today of all days? I know, we are the chosen people. But once in a while, can't you choose someone else?
The immigrants who came from Russia, my parents, Russia and Romania, they had nothing. They had nothing. They didn't know the language. They had each other, and they had humor. Every story was sort of, you'd take the poorest person like a Tevye, and he'd make him holler at God like crazy and find humor in the worst situation imaginable. The thing that helps humor is oppression. The thing that kills humor is assimilation. That group that came over, your grandparents, maybe your parents to a degree, yes, there's something lost in assimilating. Really, that's what it is, getting comfortable. If you've had a great childhood and a good marriage and a little bit of money, you're going to make a lousy stand-up comedian. So the Jewish dilemma was they had nothing. So the humor just poured, it came out of their pores, really.
I've always thought that comedy was Jewish jazz. It was our people's way of expressing our powerlessness and our intelligence at the same time. All comedy, I think, comes from frustration. People say it comes from pain, but I don't want to go that far, because it's not quite true. But I think it comes from frustration, some kind of frustration. And who feels more frustrated than a group of very intelligent people who've been bred into intelligence, right? Forced bred into intelligence, because so many of us were eliminated, feeling that we have to say something. We have to talk about this. We have no choice. The history of 20th century humor is Jewish. Period.
Okay. And
period.
I think that comedy ultimately comes from darkness. It does. Because that sense of humor is a great conduit to survival. And I think that as Jews, you know, just culturally, we suffer a lot of pain. And even when there isn't pain to be suffered, we enjoy giving it to ourselves. We've gone through the hardest, toughest time. I think other cultures have also.
Right.
But I think traditionally, we have a hard time. In fact, we are very comfortable in our hard time. We're very comfortable, Kvetch.
I think
even if things are good, you know, we even question that. How are things doing? They're doing. You know?
I'm saying that Rome today is a very different culture than Rome when Caesar was in charge.
Right.
I mean, it is not even close to the same thing.
Whereas we
are pretty much the same as we were when Caesar was in charge.
Jews were sarcastic.
I have no doubt about it. Because we're the arguing people. It's built into our culture for sure. I mean, you know, you call an idiot chacham. You know, if somebody says he's a real chacham, even though it literally translates as smart person, it means idiot. That's how we live, right? Good thinking, Einstein. That never means you're smart like Einstein. That means you're stupid, unlike Einstein. So you noticed, huh? Sherlock? That doesn't mean you're the great detective. It means you're a moron. Everybody can see that. Would smartass come out of being victimized?
Yeah.
Because that's all you can do. Because the only power you have is to be a smartass. I mean, it makes perfect sense that, you know, you're downtrodden, and in real terms of power and life and death, you have nothing. But on a personal, interpersonal level, you can still be somebody because, you know, you're a smartass.
There are a lot of famous Jewish comic artists. Why do you think that is?
Because it was a way out. It was a way, I mean, not that there weren't a lot of serious Jewish playwrights and novelists, and we know their names. But I think if you're raised in New York, the Bronx or Brooklyn, and many of them come right from there, your means of survival, where there was so much competition within your family, outside your family, in the culture, in the neighborhood, in school, out of school, was being funny and using humor to carve your way, to establish yourself.
So here's a pretty good generalization. Jews are pretty funny. Presbyterians, not so much. When Catholics drink, they tend to get funnier. And so on down the line. But Jews are pretty funny. Dennis, why do the Jewish people have this amazing... You talked about this, by the way. You had a caller on Friday who said, Jews are funny. They laugh at themselves more than any other ethnic group. Where does that come from? And is it biblical?
I don't know if it's biblical. I'll tell you what I think, and it's actually I have a serious answer to the question. It is a serious question. I think that suffering, if you can endure it and prevail, makes you funny. And the truth is that in the last 2,000 years, or if you will, 1,500 years, well, Protestants are only here 500, but so in the last 500 years, Jews have suffered more than Protestants, okay? So I think that that's a very big factor. You develop a certain Woody Allen-esque view of life that, that he has, and it's typical, even though he's not a believer and so on. Nevertheless, he typifies in many ways Jews and our outlook on life. And so you do develop this humor, otherwise you can't survive. I mean, as you know, I say on my show, the absurd keeps me sane. And so I think that that's a big factor. Yes, we do laugh at ourselves. Here's a great self-deprecating Jewish joke. Ready? And I doubt if there was a self-deprecating Presbyterian joke. Okay? I think you could even on Google, you probably Presbyterian humor. You know what you would get? Check if you spelled it correctly. So here's the joke. It's a great one. You'll enjoy this. So here, and I don't know many jokes by heart, but I so enjoyed this one I memorized it. So a Catholic priest, so the Protestant minister gets a haircut, and he gets ready to pay, and the barber says, "You're a man of the cloth, Pastor. No need to pay." The pastor thanks him profusely, comes back the next week with a lovely little leather Bible. Next week, Catholic priest comes in for a haircut. Haircut's over, gets ready to pay. The barber says, "Oh, Father, you're a man of the cloth. No need to pay." The priest comes back the next week with a lovely crucifix. Next week, a rabbi comes in, gets the haircut, gets ready to pay. The barber says, "No need to pay, Rabbi, you're a man of the cloth." The rabbi thanks him profusely and returns the next week with another rabbi.